If you find yourself constantly comparing your life to someone else's life on social media, then this video is for you. Hey there, my name is Shalini. Welcome to my YouTube. Alright, so today's video, I really wanted to properly prepare for this video, but then I thought, you know what, I'm just going to speak from my heart as always because I have been personally victimized by Regina George, aka social media. Seriously. So many times in my life, so many bad moments of mine, mood shifts of mine has happened because of comparing my life to someone else's life on social media. Now, how do we tackle this? Number one, let's collectively agree on a fact that we are having another relationship with an entity called social media, and this is not normal, right? Our brains are not designed in a way where we have to take in so much of information on a regular basis about someone else's life updates. I genuinely feel bad for the fact that social media was created as a tool for the sole purpose of connectivity, but it has unfortunately become the tool for comparison and competition. So many people, I don't know how they even, you know, function on a daily basis if they don't have the perfect makeup or the perfect hairdo or perfect clothing. I don't even know how those people actually manage social media. You and I especially, I can too, but I know that there are people who don't even have what I have, and I don't know how they handle it. And I genuinely think that they are the real heroes and they are the ones I should learn how to be confident from, right? Because I genuinely believe that there are certain tips that we can follow to handle the social media, and we can conquer this entity instead of allowing this entity to conquer us. Okay, let's go. Number one, you need to accept for the fact you need to accept the fact that your journey is not less than just because someone else on social media is living their best life. I don't care if someone is doing a world tour or they're in the best relationship of their life or they're buying a designer handbag, they got their new car or they got their own apartment, whatever it could be. I will not put my life down just because they're celebrating theirs. Will I be happy for everyone who's doing well on social media? I don't know. Sometimes I might be like, I'm not gonna use the social media now. I'm gonna like go back to my life. Sometimes I'll be like, yay, I'm so happy for them. Yeah, it depends on my mood. But it does not mean that my journey is less than, right? Because they have not lived in my shoes, not even a day. They don't know what it's like to be me. They haven't had the experience that I have had, right? And vice versa. I don't know what it's like to be them. Probably they must have had even more worse circumstances. Probably they handled it in a very different way. So, how do we handle situations where our ego just comes up to the surface and we're like, I hate it. I hate that they're actually having a better life and I don't have a better life? Network, right? I find no shame in asking someone out for a coffee and being like, hey, I found you, doing your master's abroad and I saw your photos and you must have had a great time. Would you like to catch up for coffee and actually discuss about that? And you won't believe people are more than willing to actually help you out. Only if you ask them. Seriously, if we can just let go of our egos and ask them, like, hey, like, I find you, like, you have the most clear skin. Would you like give me any tips for like clearing my skin? There would be people who would actually tell you. Very, very rarely people are like, I'm not going to tell you anything. I don't know. I didn't do anything. Very rarely there are selfish people, but most of the time, people are more than willing to actually help you out, guide you, right? I had a friend who recently settled down and she's married and stuff. And I saw her photo with her husband and I asked her, you guys look so cute together. Would you like give me any relationship tips? And what was the green flag? Was there any red flag and stuff? And she was like, she told me one simple yet profound thing that literally changed my view on how I perceive relationships. She said, yes, of course, I'm going to have issues just like any other couples too, but I assist him majorly on the basis of his kindness, Shalini. He was kind when he was angry. He was kind when he was frustrated. I genuinely noticed how he did not get the anger, turn him into someone that he's not. And that literally shifted my perception on relationships, because I used to like just like be okay if someone is like angry and they would use these words. I would be like, oh my god, seriously, you're like amazing most of the time. Why are you like this when you're angry? And I would literally forgive that person. And after her advice, I genuinely started believing that wow, when someone can be kind when they're angry, when someone do not act like an emotionally immature child when they're angry, that's when I'm really really going to like appreciate being in that person's company. That person deserves my time. No. So there are things that we can always learn from people. So instead of being, like extremely competitive and being like, hey, this person, look at her. She's like, working from anywhere, wherever she wants to, like she's having the best life, whatever. Being like that, I genuinely ask them out for coffee and be like, hey, do you want to like catch up for coffee? Even I'm looking for a remote job. How can I get a job like this? I make that effort instead of letting the competition monster get to me. I would rather step out of my ego and get some kind of tips and guidance from them, right? That is one way to tackle your insecurities. Number 2, honestly speaking, there are people who project an entirely different lives on social media would actually believe. Like I know there are few guys who have like the perfect wives, like the perfect wives, and they would be posting with their wife on Instagram. They'd be going to this holiday, that holiday, and in the DMs they would be like sending me some flirty messages and stuff. And it's only like few months or years before the wife eventually finds out and leaves their ass. But that's how social media is. There are people who are completely projecting a life that they're not living, because they're only showcasing the highlight reel of their life. They're not going to be talking about all the fights that they have. They're not going to be talking about the nasty fights that they have at home. Now, I'm not saying that someone who has an imperfect life is not living their dream life. No, that's not what I'm suggesting. It's okay to have fights. It's okay to have disagreements. It's okay to have moments of, moments in your life where you're just like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with my life and all of those things. But there are people who are completely living a different life than they're projecting on social media. For example, I used to know a guy who have completely blocked now. He used to go to all these parties here in Chennai, and he used to literally like post photos, like he's partying, he's doing this and that and all of that, you know. And when I met him, number one, he had zero self respect. Everybody around him were like talking shit about him, and he rarely had friends. He was literally like paying for most of these parties that he was going. He would be hosting these parties, and he was also using like too much of alcohol and whatnot, right? It was not the happy person that he was projecting on a social media. And it was so disappointing to witness this in person. I was like, oh my god, like this dude would be like talking about spirituality and shit on social media, and this is the kind of life he's actually leading, behind the scenes. That was extremely shocking to me. So that's how manipulative social media is. So the next time you feel like social media is, everyone else is having a perfect life and I'm not having a perfect life, remember, you are affirming your reality into existence. Don't say that. I love my journey. I love my life. I'm living my best life. And then you pray about what you want to God. Write down what you want and pray about it to God. Right? God, this is the kind of experience I want. I want an easy life. I want things to easily work out for me. I genuinely want someone else to come up to me and ask how I'm living my best life. I genuinely want to lend and not borrow. You can say all these things to God and pray about it. And I promise you, your life situation will turn around like this. And don't get intimidated by social media the next time you are on social media, like on Instagram or on YouTube or anything of that sort. If I tell you guys right now that, I had pizza and pasta today, you're going to have to believe me, right? Because I control the narrative of what I say. But the truth is that I had ginger tea and cheese murka sandwich. And there's nothing, shameful about having ginger tea and cheese murka sandwich, right? I'm obsessed with cheese murka sandwich. I genuinely need help. But anyways, so that's how social media works. Don't let it, take control over your life. You are amazing. You're the best. Affirm every single day. I'm living my best life. I'm the best. I'm so happy. Everything works out for me. I'm living my dream life. God has abundantly blessed me. The more you speak it into existence, the more your reality is going to turn into whatever that you speak about yourself. The more you consider yourself as an unlucky person, the more that's what you're going to experience. So be very careful of what you're speaking about your journey, about your life. And remember, walk by faith, not by sight. Right? I hope you have a fabulous, fabulous day. Until next video, bye.